Hello everyone. We finally got everything set up. Mostly my fault, I'm an idiot. But anyway, hello everyone, welcome to Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. I'm Kinnin11. And I guess without much further ado, let's clear ourselves a file and start. So, you guys ready for a countdown? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So right off the bat, I'm going to be doing a Kirby special. I'm going to be doing a mix, and let's see if I can get it. That's one off. I'm going to try it one more time. So the idea of a mix is if you suck up 2 enemies with abilities, you get a mix wheel. Damn. Okay, just one more. Just because it's fun. And you're trying to hit a 4-frame timing to get an ability that you want, like wheel. First try. Now, why do we want wheel at the start? Well, it saves a couple of seconds down the line. Doing the mix is pretty slow. I even don't really know how to do the fast version all that well. But using wheel, we can make mincemeat of the first couple of stages in this level. And we'll get a cute Kirby dance. One of the main techniques for wheel is the wheel jump, and that's doing this. It's actually not an intended strat, but it works out really well, because you can't actually jump while you're in the wheel thing. So if you unwheel and then do a wheel jump, you can do really cool things. Here I'm sucking up 2 enemies, and by doing that you can just insta-kill bosses. It's really nice. So another cool thing you can do with wheel is this. By turning right before you enter the water, you get what's called flywheel. You basically keep all of your momentum in the water, and you can just jump out instantly, and you just go really fast. And it's actually really cool to do, in my opinion. It doesn't happen often in the run, but I like it, so. And here we got another nice little section of wheel jumping. So if I didn't get the mix the 3rd time, I would have gotten burning right there. But instead we're going to be doing this section with some nice timing, because that bird almost hit me. It's a lot of the movement that you're trying to do. Oh boy. But instead of like getting the burning right there, we can get it right here. And we get this nice little fireball that'll make us go a little bit faster through the next sections. I hope no one is saying double fire in chat. It's a bad meme. But the cool thing about fire is that we got an ice boss right here. And we can bonk against the side to basically reset our burning and deal damage kind of quickly. It's a really nice thing about burning. Especially because like wheel is actually really bad at fighting bosses, so getting burning right there is just nice. There we go. And then right here we have our first instance of an invincibility candy. You just automatically run, and everything you touch gets damaged except for bosses. And that works really well. In that section it's actually not very useful, but in other sections we make really good use of it, even longer than the game intends you to do. And here we have our first actual boss. Of course it's Wispy Woods. And we just ram into him a couple of times. You actually have to time the burnings, or else you get really long invincibility frames, and that'll just ruin a lot of damage. And on to the next level, Ice Cream Island. Nice and fast. I got a nice little burning section. There we go. So a lot of this game is movement optimization, and the community has been really hard at work trying to get the movement to even crazier heights than it already was. Like within a year, the world record went down by like 3 minutes, which is in this game is actually ridiculous. I'm gonna try and show off as many of the cool strats that I have learned, because some of the strats are just, yeah, they're IL only in a sense. We don't really have ILs, but if we did, they would be IL only. Also, shoutouts to Kirby music. So here we're gonna drop our ability and suck it up together with an enemy so we can get a double star to one-shot this boss. And then we're just gonna be wheeling about for a bit. So, like, on the right side here, the game developers made this really nice zigzaggy thing, but it's way faster to just ignore it and go straight past it. It's actually kinda silly because it's really nice to go up there casually. There we go. And now we're just gonna be doing a bunch of movements, so if you got anything, feel free.
Oh yes, we've got $10 from Rox saying, "Hey, Rox and the rest of the Kirby community here. Good luck on the run. Can't wait for the sub 40 at top 10 this run. 7-4 UFO is waiting for you."
Oh boy, no, yeah, we're gonna. I'm not gonna do 7-4 UFO. I'm gonna have to disappoint everyone in the Kirby community. I'm sorry. It's the one strat I refuse to do. Anyways, here we have our first Meta Knights arena. Basically, they take like 2 hits to kill, so sucking them up and spitting them out is the fastest way of killing them. And they always spawn in a set pattern if you do the same things all the time, so that's a really nice way to get them down quickly. And now we got a little bit of normal Kirby. In this game, normal Kirby is actually good, which is really nice, because that means if you're starting out learning this game, if you ever lose your ability, you can just keep going. There's actually like pretty good runs of abilityless, where you just don't get an ability if you can avoid it, which are actually like only 50 minutes. It's pretty fast, so this game is really well made when it comes to like Kirby speed, and it makes the whole game fast, which is just nice. There we go. Also right here, you might notice that I'm sliding off of edges. Whenever you do that, you gain a little bit of extra speed. So throughout the run, I'll be doing that as often as possible to get just that little bit of extra speed. There we go. Whee. Coming up here is a pretty difficult jump. If you time it correctly, which I didn't, you won't get hit by the cannon over there. It's one of those really small time savers that if you nail them consistently, it's always a good feeling. And we're gonna switch back into wheel because, well, yeah, that's one of the things that the community has been hard at work at, is trying to get as much wheel into the game as possible. Because it's just simply really fast in horizontal speed. Luckily though, horizontal speed is not the only thing we need. We also need vertical speed. So with high jump, you can jump high. Yeah. And you can also like cancel your high jump, which makes it a lot more nifty of an ability than you would first think. Because it makes it a really good boss killer, actually. And we're going to be showing that right now with Paint Roller. Oop. Cancelled that one too early. This is actually considered the bad pattern anyways. But by quickly cancelling my high jumps, you can really easily get Paint Roller down. And get a cute dance. I really like Kirby dances. Anyways, because we have high jump, butter building is going to be really nice. It's going to be a lot of vertical movement in this section, so having a high jump as much as possible is nice. Oh, I don't get this pattern often from this guy. Little jump there. You might also notice that I'm doing a lot of small random jumps here and there. Whenever you do a jump, for some reason Kirby like moves up 1 pixel during the jump. So just simply like doing a lot of jumps is actually faster than simply running. When you see like high-level players, they fit in small short hops everywhere, and it's ridiculous. Also, this stage in Butter Building is kind of infamous. I believe the kids call this driving down to Butter Building, because there's a mid-boss coming up, which is really obnoxious. Whenever you touch him, basically, he will grab you, and getting grabbed loses like at least 3 seconds. So you really don't want to deal with it. Well, not 3 seconds, but a lot of time. And here he is. It's Bugsy. And you really need to try and deal damage. There we go, got grabbed. You need to try and deal damage without getting too close to him. Luckily, that was not too bad. Losing sword is kind of meh, but I don't need it in a bit. Also, stay hydrated. Very important. We're gonna be switching back into high jump here and then just doing a bit of movement. So if you got anything, feel free.
Oh yes, we've got $20 from Belarus saying, watching your marathon on vacation. Good luck to all the runners. Kirby, hype! And we also got $10 from Elta Biscuit saying, hey Kinnin, what color socks are you wearing?
I am wearing blue socks with little birds on them. Thank you for the question, Alta. It's an important one to ask. Anyways, on to 3-4, which is going to be our second instance of the Meta Knight fight. This one is a little bit trickier because I'm going to be dropping my high jump and re-grabbing it halfway into this section, so I need to focus a little bit. There we go. Whew. There. Oh. Yeah, sometimes you can miss with high jump. There are different strats you can do here where you keep high jump all the way, but I don't like them, so I don't do them. And there we go. Get a nice little health refill for the rest of Butter Building. The most important part in Butter Building is trying to keep your high jump, especially for this section. We get another invincibility candy, and we can just jump up like crazy. And at the end here, we're gonna be fighting another mid-boss. Now, because invincibility candies don't deal damage to the boss, we can just stand inside of him instead and spam high jumps. There we go. Best part of Nightmare in Dreamland, a lot of Kirby dances. Also a quick question to chat, real quick. Sun or moon? I'll ask later what the most spammed thing is. There we go. Oh. So actually, this game used to be, is like a remake of a NES classic, Kirby's Adventure. And during these sections in that game, you had this really cool kind of auto-scroller type thing with like 3D effects and whatever, but because the Game Boy Advance isn't very good, they instead just made you wait for a bit. It's kind of sad, because it was a really cool feature in that game. So now we need to know what's been spammed more, sun or moon?
It was moon. Lots of moons.
Ah, damn, that's the bad one.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, this is Mr. See, you guys hacked me up. Wow. So basically, it's completely luck-based whether sun or moon goes first. There's like 2 camps, there's 3 camps in the Kirby community. You've got the sun camp, you got the moon camp, and you got the do nothing camp. Obviously the do nothing camps are the biggest losers. So another nice little slidey bit. So this is, from Grape Garden onwards, the most amount of change is going to be happening from the older runs. For instance, we used to grab UFO here, but instead we're going to keep high jump for just a little bit because it's just a little bit faster to go down like this rather than through UFO. And then I'm going to attempt a mix right here. Ah, 1 off. Ah, that's sad. I was trying to do another wheel mix. It saves a couple of seconds, but I really like doing it because mixing is pretty cool. Luckily, you can just like go straight back into the old strat, which is grabbing Tornado instead. And going to this stage with it. Go. Nope. Water movement is actually kind of okay in Kirby, in most Kirby games, especially this one. Ah, damn. Trying not to get hit by that Apple Bro. I think they're called Apple Bros? I don't know. Anyways, here's our first like double mid-boss fights. With Spark, it becomes pretty easy to kill them quickly, like that. You just do one and then the other. In other fights, we're gonna be doing more fancy strats, which I really like to do. And then we're gonna go on to what is probably my favorite stage as a kid, because it's got really cool music and a lot of blimps. So this stage has like a constant wind pushing you forward, which also makes you run a little bit faster. And you can use that to your advantage in some cases. And we're gonna be switching into high jump. And I hope I can show off why. It's like a teeny tiny time save and I messed it up. Ah. That final jump is really difficult because you have this really short window to jump to try and kill both the enemies. And if you keep high jump, you can just really quickly end this room. Luckily, I don't specifically need high jump for the next one, because we're going to be doing another mix. Yay, so many mixes. So we're going to walk over here. Ah, that was way late. I was trying to get wheel again because, like I said, a lot of the routing has been just put wheel in here and it'll go faster. If you guys have ever like seen the old Famarok speedrun he did at ESA a couple of years back, it's a lot more wheel. I think we went from like 25% wheel usage to like 50% wheel usage. It's kind of ridiculous. Luckily I really like it, so I don't mind it. On to Fanfan. Fanfan is very similar to Bugsy, that when you touch Fanfan, he'll grab you and throw you. Luckily, this specific version just stands still for a while and allows you to kill him really quickly. And grab his ability, which is throw. Now, this section of the route, you can also not use throw, but it's really difficult and it doesn't save enough time, in my opinion, to be worth it. So we're just gonna be running with it. Also, he's got a really cool little bandana thing on, so Kirby's cool like this. It's the only use of throw, so might as well keep it in. So the reason why we keep throw here is because of this Meta Knight fight. You can just grab these Meta Knights and just throw them around. And you can do like triple hits with it, so that makes it really nice. That was really smooth. And then we're gonna go back into single fire, burning. For just this bit. There we go. Also, I never explained the goal games. So the way the goal game kind of works is you have to do an A press or a B press at the right moment. And if you do that right as you land, you will like get a perfect, really quick 7. So I've been trying to time my movement, my input properly. You can actually, most runners basically just like press AB really quickly in succession to make sure that they get the input right. But sometimes you mess up and then you get really slow goal games. And optimizing your goal games is a really big part of getting faster in this speedrun. Because the faster you are with it, the more random time loss you're not getting. I don't mind losing sword there. There we go. So in this room, I'm going to be doing a very controversial thing. The community has been divided on whether grabbing high jump here is faster or not for years on end, and I still don't know which one is right. I just, basically, if I have enough health, I do it. If I don't have enough health, I don't do it at this point. Because there's a high jump right there, right as you go into the boss fight. So Krakow is the only boss fight with a little prelude, where you just have to jump up to the battle arena. And if you're too slow, Krakow will destroy one of the platforms. But anyways, with Krakow, you can really get good, solid double hits with the high jump cancel. That way dealing damage to him really quickly. That was smooth. I like that one. And on to Yogurt Yard, which is, in my opinion, like very annoying, but I'll deal with it. There we go. Also, give a big, solid applause for the only use of stone in this speedrun. And goodbye stone forever. That was the only reason we ever used stone there. We're actually going to get a better vertical drop ability in a little bit. So it's basically just like, stone is kind of obsolete. And on to 5-2. So 5-2 is actually like a very disorienting stage because you're gonna go through a lot of doors, and they kind of switch around if you have to go left or right after going into the door, which, yeah, gets really annoying really quickly, and I often just completely miss out on which door I need to get. And here we're gonna get the superior vertical drop ability called Ball. It basically just bounces around a lot. I messed up the strat. It's a really nice strat you can do there to really quickly get through that room. But here you can actually see like the ball drop speed. It's pretty fast. And on to the reason why it's better than stone. You can 2-hit bosses with it, which makes it really powerful. The only problem with ball is that it's, yeah, like that. It's kind of difficult to use. So I'm on 1 health right now, and I know I'm gonna get hit in the next stage. So we're gonna do a really cool trick. I'm gonna soft reset right as I exit the door. That way I will reset my health and lives. And at the same time, I don't lose too much time if I do it right as I exit a door, because it skips the little cutscene of the door becoming available for the next stage. You still lose time doing it, but it's definitely a really nice beginner strat to keep under your belt. Doesn't matter how many runs you do. Oh, we're back on wheel. Because, of course, we're back on wheel. This is actually an intended wheel usage, though, by the developers. Right here, I'm gonna have to spam wheel jumps to not break through the blocks and die. It's pretty nice. Oh, and there we go. That's the damage I was talking about. You can really do a really cool strat with wheel jump, with wheel there, but even after practicing it for a lot of time today, I just couldn't get it down, so I didn't do it. And on to a very cool burning strat coming up. I actually got it for the first time ever today. It's kind of an odd timing. But doing that 3 burnings is really difficult to time right, and you have to mash your burning like crazy. And on to... Oh, another arena fight. I'm getting a little bit unlucky there. I'm gonna have to improvise, which is always gonna be bad. There we go. And now we're gonna do the most important thing in any Nightmare in Dreamland run, ball swag. Doing this saves like half a second, but if you mess up, you die. So it's really not worth it, but I always go for it because it's fun. And then we're gonna drop down for a bit. Oh, that's bad. Okay, saved it. Let me think. Oh yeah. So 5-5 has got some really nice movement at the start. If you basically time your jump right, you can just time through those 3 shots. It's really, really cool. Everyone's got their own little trick for that one, little timing and cue. And if you've got anything real quick, go ahead.
Oh yes, sorry, yes. We've got $60 from 60 saying good luck on the run, Kinnin. Kirby is always awesome. Thank you very much for that donation. We've got $100 from Rechargeable saying good luck to all the runners. Don't forget to donate to destroy Alzheimer's. Thank you very much for being so generous.
And of course, you guys come back right as I make a mistake. Beautiful. Luckily, I don't need burning after this one, because we're gonna do another wheel section that I actually really enjoy doing. I actually like, it's weird. You think you'd get bored of all the wheel, but it's always just nice to be able to press a button and not have to do anything for a few seconds in a game like this. And these jumps are really cool. They're actually a lot harder than they look. That's actually everything about this game. If you're ever trying to learn this game, don't get frustrated too quickly. It is definitely an easy to learn, hard to master game. Also more flywheels. Whee! It really speeds up that section. It used to go a lot slower. So before we're gonna go into the next boss, we're gonna be doing a quick little re-enter of this room, grabbing 2 wheels, and insta-mixing hammer. So when you're doing a mix and you're just holding the A button, you instantly get the first one. And hammer happens to be a really good ability against heavy mole here. Now whenever like his bottom thing spins, you have to be a little bit careful. But I got really good luck, so that was a sweet fight. Stay hydrated. Actually, I'm gonna soft reset real quick. I should have done that earlier. So for Orange Ocean, I'm gonna be doing another wheel mix at the start. And you want to try and keep wheel throughout the entire section. And I might get hit a couple of times. So I would rather do Orange Ocean with full health. I lose a lot of time doing that soft reset, but here's the wheel mix. That was really good. This is like the biggest change in the route for a long time. We used to do this entire section a lot differently. And instead of trying to keep wheel, we would try to keep tornado, but the wheel mix at the start and the difficult movement afterwards really, like, it weighs out in the end, where you just get really good movement afterwards. And I dropped the wheel. Great! Spend time hyping it up, and then I mess up. Luckily, there's a backup mix coming up, so I'm not worried. And otherwise I'll just do the entire section the old school way. Not having wheel there is annoying, but it's fine. So here we gonna use Tornado instead. Ooh, that was a bit early actually. There we go. I was a bit scared of that Bronto bird when using Tornado. There we go. On to 6-3. Now this is where I can like finally get my wheel back. I have to nail the mix first try though. So here we go. Of course I messed that one up. I can quickly reset it. Oh my god. I really need wheel now or else it's gonna be really difficult to continue. There we go. So with Bonkers with wheel is actually kind of difficult. You have to try and manipulate him in the middle. But once you start to get to know him, he's actually a really nice dude. He just happens to have a big hammer trying to kill you, but don't worry about it. He's got a good heart. There we go. And the upcoming room is actually almost my favorite bit with wheel for this section. Whoop, if I don't mess it up. Because you're basically just doing wheel jumps out of the water and just looks cool. So from 6-4 onwards, we're gonna be really seeing the power of wheel in these sections, because there's just a lot of like straight line movement you can do with wheel here. Except for this bit. Like, this is always a little bit scary. Like when you're first starting out, you lose the most amount of abilities there. Also, I know a lot of people in the community want me to say that this is called the Nut Shack, and this is called the Nut Shack 2.0. Because, well, there's a lot of coconuts in there. You can do the math. Are you happy, Chooch? Are you happy? And there we go on this section. If you've got anything, feel free to go ahead.
Oh yes, we've got $5 from Congress saying, let's get this $5 hype train onto 3K, and we're super, super close to $3,000. You can make it happen, I'm sure. And we've got $20 from Mr. Shasta. I think you know that person.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Shasta.
Saying, hey Kindad, good luck with your run. Moon Crew is now 0 for 2 at live marathons, but we will rise again. Also, don't get hacked by 7-2, please. Heart.
I'll try.
Also, can we get a puyo from the crowd? Puyo. Thank you.
Anyways, this is the infamous UFO room, and I absolutely nailed it. It can be really difficult. You got all these like UFOs spawning. Oh wow, I messed that straight up then. Right after, nice. You have all these UFOs spawning randomly, and well, they're not spawning randomly, but they're moving randomly. So even if you try and do the same movement over and over again, there's a really big chance of you getting hacked anyways. But in this case, I got really lucky and didn't get hit at all. Also, this is the worst Meta Knight arena because, well, it's got ice physics, and who doesn't love ice physics? Apparently game developers do. It's also annoying because all the jump intervals are extremely specific and you really need to set up for it, but I managed to do it quite nicely. Now, the upcoming boss fight, I'm definitely gonna take damage, so I'm gonna soft reset to regain my health real quick. And we're gonna be fighting against Meta Knight. Now, Meta Knight moves around randomly, but he can also randomly block your attacks. And in practice, I got like 15 blocks in a row. It was absolutely horrible. He's not giving me the best luck, but there we go. That was Meta Knight. Gives me another moment to drink. And on to Rainbow Resort. Now, Rainbow Resort, the strats definitely ramp up in difficulty now, because the game just ramps up in difficulty very sharply. And we're going to be seeing a lot of annoying things. Now, this is not a really new addition to the run, but at one point, one of the few Japanese runners of the game showed us like, hey, you can do this with sword, unless you're me and you kill your sword. Great. I also have like no health. Okay, I'm gonna do a marathon safety strat right here and just kill myself to regain all my health, because there's gonna be a really difficult stage coming up, and you do not want to go in there with 3 health. This is one of the few moments you can actually use Bowl to gain really cool movement, but if you don't get it, you can just like walk around with the star in your mouth. It's probably the best backup strat. And on to 7-2. Now, 7-2 is the most annoying stage. It's basically a boss rush, and a lot of it is luck-based. You need to get lucky with the mid-boss patterns to get all the cool quick kills. And it's definitely where a lot of runs come to die. And I'm not getting lucky so far. Oh boy, that was a bad decision. Okay, okay. I might have to do this ability-less if this goes on. Okay, I'm gonna have to get really lucky on Bugsy right here. Nice, thank you. That was a good quick kill. And the final one. Don't heck me, please. Thank you! Whew. That was scary. So yeah, and then you get this nice soothing moment where you just have to hold up for a bit. You can just relax. That always gets your heart rate right up. Oh boy. And you get a nice little health refill here, so everything is good. And we can keep going. So this pit, there's just basically a lot of enemies, so I'm gonna have to be focusing for a bit. So if you've got anything, you can go ahead. Oh, they're busy, it seems. Okay. Anyway, in that case, I'll just like keep talking. We got a little invincibility candy here, and once again, this time it's useless. We can just burning through everything and go fast. There we go. And on to like the true enemy hell. There's like in the first room, there's just gonna be a giant mess of enemies. And with the newer strats, it's become a lot easier to deal with them. Because you can just, if you go up really high, you're just burning through all of it, and they don't hit you. And then you got this weird room section. In the first like 2 rooms, you have to deal with enemy RNG, but when you get to these rooms, it's all set, and you can just move through kind of quickly. Oh wow, that was bad. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Anyway, we're gonna pick up Spark here, and quickly go through. We're also going to grab Spark because it gives us the ability to get through here really quickly and through the next bit. There we go. It's also going to help us fight against a mid-boss coming up in a bit. We used to do a different strat that was really luck-based, and back in the day, a lot of runs have died to that luck being really, really bad. So like at the start of this room, you got all these little bombs, and we used to like suck them up for like a giant one-time use damage thing. But it wouldn't kill this mid-boss instantly. And then you would have to wait for him to drop a wheelie. And as you can see, he's not giving me good luck either. So can you imagine having to wait for that? I believe like one person at one time, wow, lost like a full minute to that being stupid. Also losing wheel there was not fun. Oh boy. Oh, that was stupid. Okay. So, I hoped I wasn't gonna game over this run, but apparently the Kirby gods are not smiling upon me. Which means I'm gonna have to do this entire section again, and this time I'm gonna have to hope I get lucky. Yeah, Nightmare in Dreamland can be quite unforgiving if you're making small mistakes. Okay, I got lucky. Nice. Thank you, Wheelie. We're gonna do this bit again. It's actually quite difficult. You have to really know when you can do your wheel jumps, like this. There we go, that was a lot better. And there you're racing a flamer to try and get fast without getting hit. But it's very important to keep wheel here because of the next stage, and all you retro Kirby lovers out there, you're gonna like this one. It's an homage to the very first Kirby game, Kirby Dreamland 1, which happens to be a very bad speed game, don't run it. Run this one instead. And we're just gonna wheel through it. There we go. So the first couple of like rooms in this section are kind of easy to do, but when we get here, there's a little bit of a luck-based thing there. Okay, I got lucky. So you want that like weird face thing to move away so you can actually do your wheel. And that wheel jump is kind of tricky. And being able to keep wheel is very fast for this one. And now we're gonna do another mix. There we go, ball, perfect. I've actually been having a lot of trouble with that mix because it's very close to a lot of wheel mixes, but it's one click different. So you can make a lot of mistakes. And then we're finally gonna beat, well, finally gonna fight against DDD in the best melee stage, Fountain of Dreams. Don't at me. We got really nice luck. Usually you can be really obnoxious, but I got good luck and I dealt with it really nicely. So that was DDD. And now we're gonna go into the final two bosses. And it wouldn't be a Kirby game without a short shoot 'em up section. So this is Orb. With Orb, he basically moves around semi-randomly, and the only things that are set is which attacks he does. And with this attack, he always moves in the same spots. And you kind of have to work your strats around that. It kind of just involves mashing a lot. That wasn't the best one, but there we go. And now we're going to go on to the final boss. So Nightmare is basically... It's not very random. He does the same attacks in order. But where he spawns to do those attacks or move around to do those attacks is completely random. So you kind of have to learn how to deal with like one or two of his attacks, and the other ones you just have to hope he doesn't like waste a lot of time doing them. So for the first one, he's just gonna rise up a bit. There we go. And you're trying to hit the little tornado that is behind the big tornado. Oh, that one is annoying. And like you want him to spawn like further to as far as to the left as possible. Whenever he's like gonna move around, because that just wastes less time. Okay. Gonna move up again. He's basically just gonna go through the same cycle that he just did just now. And get ready on time. Time. So yeah, that was Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. Actually, below estimate. I didn't think that after that death, but that's fine. I want to give a big shout outs to the Kirby community. You guys are all pretty awesome. They've done a ton of work on this, and there was a Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland tournament run for a couple of months, so that was absolutely cool, and I really enjoyed that. So shout outs to all of you. You're all good, and thank you ESA for having me.